I'd like to use this very important opportunity to say thank you to you as you join with me in this very important broadcast for the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists. Hi, my name is Constone, and it's a great day to be with you here today. Welcome to the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists, the global recon for teaching quality and learning experience. I'd like to show you some of our pictures. This is myself with this very popular picture, though he's going to be with the Lord. He's one man who's impacted in my life. Is still very instructive. This is my picture with some of the very important persons in Nigeria today. I also want to show you a picture of some of our last induction relating to Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists. Let me start this session with a very important quote. It says, "The best way to deny progress to a generation is either of or both of two things. You either deny them teachers or you deny them leaders." But the important stuff is this: if you deny them teachers, they will not value leaders. Why? Because you have to be taught first before you can be led. And as this picture quite shows, in order for a generation to have a better standard of life, well, you can see that man saying to the child, "We can drown." And you can see this one teaching the child, in order to go over this ocean, something like this can fly us over. And so that's what teachers do. The generation that will be better than this generation is teachers that will show them the way and the path to that greatness. And so I'd like to welcome every teacher here who is listening to me at this time or who is watching this very important video. I'd like to share with you the CITS global mission, and it requires my reading. It says here, the CITS is the preeminent global body dedicated to advancing excellence in teaching, learning delivery, learning development, and learning outcomes. And for your understanding, learning outcome actually stands for results. When students take an exam, the learning outcome is the result. And so the CITS is the preeminent global body dedicated to advancing excellence in teaching, learning delivery, learning development, and learning outcomes through professional specialist certifications, and to engaging in research, training, thought leadership, and international collaboration for upholding rigorous standards for educator, instructor, assessor, administrator, and consultant competencies. By reason of our roadmap, the CITS sets out to recognize exceptional contributions in education through prestigious honorary awards, tiered cadres of associates and fellowships, fostering a culture of excellence and innovation, and facilitating cross-border, cross-national, cross-cultural partnerships and memberships. By reason of our global vision, the CITS is here to shape the future and culture of education and to elevate teaching as a transformative profession worldwide. Once again, our purpose statement is to empower educators with ethical and upright teaching practices and conferring credible credentials that signify mastery in the teaching profession. In a nutshell, our purpose is to make every CITS member a global recon for teaching quality and learning experiences. That said, I also want to let you know that this program you're watching, this video you're watching, is a remedial program for persons that are members through our direct membership induction and investiture program. And so this is a remedy program or a remedial course for those of us who have been in the teaching profession, but we want to be up to date to be able to receive the certification of the CITS, which is the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists. And this statement is therefore to remedy the teaching practices that inhibit the attainment of learning outcomes that underpin non-worthwhile learning experiences. I want to state that again. Our remedial statement is to remedy teaching practices that inhibit the attainment of learning outcomes that underpin non-worthwhile learning experiences. And our core values are 7. Number 1 is leadership. We believe the teacher is the first and formal leader to the student. If the teacher gets it right to lead the student, then the student can turn to a leader who in turn leads the nation. And so it's a great teacher, great school, great nation. We also believe lifelong learning, meaning therefore that the teacher also is also learning while engaging in his teaching responsibility to students. Next is service. We believe that teaching is a profession that its reward cannot just be quantified by dollar or naira amount. It's a service to humanity you are rendering, and it is a core value in the CITS. We also believe in learning occurrence. Now, a lot of you will agree with me as a teacher. In fact, all of you will agree with me as a teacher, because the CITS is because of this agreement which I want to mention. There is a concern that teaching can occur in a place, but learning may not occur. And if teaching can occur, but learning did not occur, we therefore agree that if the student says he hasn't learned, it means the teacher hasn't taught. So therefore, learning occurrence is a value in the CITS. Also, we also believe in maximum learning outcomes. What does it mean? It means the majority of the people you teach or you instruct as a teacher must be found in the A section of success. Also, we believe in value-based teaching. Teaching, therefore, is not only to master mathematics or to master English language. The teacher in front of his students is a leader and therefore a parent to the students. And so we believe in value-based teaching. And number 7 is teaching prestige. Every one of our members understand, therefore, that when it comes to teaching as a profession, the prestige that comes with it is the very concern of the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists. We also therefore want to talk to you about the certifications and memberships and program of this institution. Number 1, as a unique professional identity that is unique to the CITS. Number 1, we are a sworn oath and a declaration to teaching and learning occurrence with overwhelming learning outcomes. Also, we are a dedication to continuous developmental pedagogy, meaning we are not people who believe in static pedagogy. Some would say you are teaching with Montessori. Some would say you are teaching with different kinds of pedagogy, but we believe as an institution on our dedication to continuous developmental pedagogy. We also have said we believe in value-based teaching and international teaching pedigree, meaning if you are a teacher in the USA and you can deliver on the goods as a teacher, anywhere you go with our certification, you must also be able to deliver as a teacher once you understand the language of the people that is being used as a teaching parameter. And so our unique professional identity is number 1, a sworn oath and dedication to teaching. 2 is a dedication to continuous developmental pedagogy. 3 is value-based teaching, and 4 is international teaching pedigree. Now, our certifications and membership programs are explained as follows. Now, we start with foundation, meaning there are certain people who may be out of secondary school and they want to follow the CITS paradigm to engaging in professional life as a teacher. And so persons of that nature can take our program as foundation. Also, is intermediate, people who are in national diplomas or are having a certificate in education, the National Certificate of Education, can also take our intermediate programs. And then we have the collegiate, those who are already in higher institutions, either in the polytechnics or university, but are not yet completed with their programs, are called the collegiate. They can write our collegiate program. Then we have the professional program. The professional program is where we guarantee memberships in your institution, and starting from the associate membership to the highest cadre, which I will show you. And so it is at the professional level we engage both in the direct and indirect membership. The direct membership is what a lot of you who are listening to this video are going through, meaning we are going to use three very important parameters to bring you into the membership. Number one is your level of education. Number two is your years of work experience. And number three is your contribution to the teaching profession. These are the qualities we require in order for you to gain membership through the direct route for the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialist. Also, we want to let you know that, as you've seen in our purpose statement, there are honorary awards that accompany this very important programs and awards that we give. I also want to speak on the curriculum, the remedial curriculum that we engage in for people who are joining in the direct membership category of this institution. Now, I'd like to let you know this is not the professional courses for people who are writing exams. This is the courses for persons who are already experiential in delivering learning and learning outcomes. And so these are remedial courses to bring you to the practice internationally about teaching quality and teaching experiences. And so the first is called Contemporary Teaching and Learning Experience Architecture. Number two is Pedagogy and Contemporary Teaching Architecture. We also have Teaching Due Diligence and Learning Delivery. Four is Cross-Cultural and International Teaching Practices. We believe if you are an alligator in Nigeria, you must also be able to travel to Canada, for example, and still retain your character as an alligator, as a teacher. We also have, for your pleasure, the art of communication for teaching delivery. Next is emotional intelligence for teaching pedigree. Then followed by proactive teaching and classroom management. Then finally on that list is education administration and management. These are the 8 very important remedial proficiency courses we will take you through in order to be a certified and chartered member of this institution. And so what we are doing is to pre-record these very important topics, these very important lectures, and send the links to the WhatsApp groups you belong to, so that at your leisure, at your spare time, you can watch these videos. And so even after the induction, these courses will still continue. Also, I want to let you know, at the end of these courses, other than your certificate of membership that you'll be granted, you also have an opportunity of acquiring from this institution, having watched all these videos, what we call the the teaching diploma, a teaching diploma from the CITS. It's Executive Education Teaching Diploma from the CITS. Now that said, let's go through the tiered cadres of the institution. The tiered membership cadres of the institution. Number one, we have the associate cadre. Some people call it the associate member cadre, but it's actually the associate cadre. also is the member cadre, followed by fellow cadre, senior fellow cadre, and the distinguished fellow cadre. There's this other cadre that is reserved and it's called the eminent fellow cadre. Now I'm going to go through each of these cadres to explain to you what it takes to be part of each of these cadres. Number one is the associate cadre. In order to be an associate of this institution, you must have not more than 5 years of cognate experience as a teacher or learning instructor. I repeat, as a person or one who is intending to join the associate cadre of this institution, you must possess not more than 5 years of cognate experience as a teacher or as a learning instructor or teaching instructor, depending on the language you use in your school. Now, the reason is this. We are saying not more than 5 years. We are not saying not less than 5 years. Please be very clear. Not more than 5 years, meaning if you just left university and you've done your NYC, for example, or you have done your post-graduation year, from that year to not more than 5 years, you will qualify as an associate of the institution. Now, for better clarification, when you become an associate by reason of the tired cadres, your chartered appellation will be the Chartered and Certified Teaching Instructor, which is CTI. And so, for example, your name therefore may be Miss Doris Ann Kenneth, BSc, and in case you already have an MSc, and then with CTI added to your name, meaning Certified or Chartered Teaching Instructor. Next is the member cadre. The member cadre is attained when you have not more than 10 years of cognate experience as a teacher or learning instructor and learning assessor. Meaning you may be more than 5 years of work experience, but you are not more than 10 years of work experience as a teacher, learning instructor, or learning assessor. And the chartered appellation you would have is Chartered and Certified Teaching Instructor and Assessor. Meaning, for example, Mr. Briggs Leonard, BSc, MSc, CTIA, which stands for Chartered and Certified Teaching Inspector, Instructor, and what? Assessor. The next is called the fellow category. And by reason of the fellow category, you must have not more than 12 years of cognate experience as a teacher, learning instructor, assessor, or head of department. I want to repeat that again. Not more than 12 years of cognate experience as a teacher, learning instructor, assessor, or head of department. This way, your appellation, therefore, is Chartered and Certified Teaching Specialist, CTS. And for example, this man is Mr. Hendricks Allen. He has a BSc, a BA, and a BNG, and probably an MSc, and he has CTS, meaning Chartered and Certified Teaching Specialist. The other one is called the Senior Fellow. The Senior Fellow, ladies and gentlemen, is one that has not less than 5 years in the role of an administrator and 12 years aggregate in teaching and education management. Minimum of, that means 5 years plus 12 years, that's about 17 years for being in the administrative work or being in the education sector. Because I believe if you are 17 years as a teacher, I believe you must have spent not less than 6 to 7 years in the role of an administrator or a top management as far as your teaching career is concerned. And so the appellation, therefore, is Chartered and Certified Teaching Administrator. Teaching what? Administrator. Also, part of this is what there are some people who will receive administrator, and there are some people who receive inspector. So not just teaching administrator, they are also called teaching inspector, CTIN. Teaching administrator and teaching inspector. So people in the senior fellow category, depending on their experience, will have certified teaching administrator as well as certified teaching inspector based on their cognate experience and what they bring to the table as teachers or as school administrators. And so, for the sake of Mrs. Helen Benson, he has CTAD as the appellation, meaning Chartered and Certified Teaching Administrator. Next is the Distinguished Fellow category, where the person is also a Chartered and Certified Teaching Administrator, but there's an addition. The person has the opportunity of having the CITS grant a honorary doctorate in education and teaching and learning management to this person, given the quality of the person's CV and contribution to educational sector. And so persons who probably have schools running more than 12 years, 15 years, and who grant scholarships to their wards, because there are some schools where students receive scholarship. This set of persons will be given the opportunity of having not just the Chartered Teaching Administrator, they will also have honorary doctorate with them based on their contribution to society in the field of education and school development. And so I'd like to say thank you very much for listening to this very important sectional area of knowing what the Chartered Institute of Teaching Specialists has got to offer you. By reason of recap, we have 5 tiered cadres. Number 1 is the associate cadre, followed by the member cadre, followed by the fellow cadre, and then we have the senior fellow cadre and the distinguished fellow cadre. The other cadre that makes it 6th is the eminent fellow cadre, but that is reserved for persons that the institute deemed fit to be able to attain, who has attained that level of glory in the teaching sector or in the education sector, and is bestowed on them as mentors and models of learning and education in order for society to know that these are eminent persons for society. And so when you send your CVs to us and our client relationship officers speak to you, then we can be able to decipher if you qualify for the eminent fellow category. The associate category is the one that's called the CTI, which is Chartered and Certified Teaching Instructor. The one who is member category is the one who also is an instructor plus assessor. So it's CTIA, Chartered Teaching Instructor and Assessor. And then we also have the Chartered Teaching Specialist, which is for the fellow category. We also have Chartered Teaching Administrator for persons who are in management or who play administrative roles when it comes to education and school development or school services. Finally, we have the Distinguished Fellow that comes with the honorary doctorate. Now, the question to ask here is, when I become a member, do I also qualify for these appellations and the certification? The answer is yes. But you must make it a point of duty to watch all these remedial courses and their videos attached so that you will be abreast to be able to defend what you have gotten at the direct membership induction. Here in Nigeria, we will be having this induction in April. All the Saturdays in April are dedicated for these inductions, April 2026. And so I'd like to thank you for listening. and believing that you will watch this video in your spare time and follow through as we bring more videos to you. Once again, my name is Theophilus Cornerstone. Thank you and God bless you.